What's up, fellas? It's your boy Nacho, and today I just want to talk about something interesting that goes along with eccentric overload, and it has to do with the Titan protein, and that's something that's in the sarcomere, and it pretty much acts like a resistance band. So pretty much when you do eccentric overload and you damage your myofibrils, your sarcomeres, right, you also damage the Titan, and that also goes through repair and remodel. And what that acts like, it acts like when it comes back stronger and thicker, it acts like a stronger resistance band. So if you're following this and you know where I'm coming from, it's pretty much like if you lower the weight and the stronger your Titan gets, it's gonna use that elasticity and that kinetic energy to give you a stronger concentric. So that's also another reason why eccentric overload works so well, is because it also increases the strength of that Titan protein. So, and you know, if you're doing standard training, you're not going to be able to damage the Titan as if you were to do eccentric overload, because with standard training, you're coming in the gym too often. You are training the same muscle too often. And it's not going to give it time to repair and remodel so that it can become back thicker and stronger. You know, so that's something that athletes need to know too. You know, in this video, I'm pretty much going to be directing it towards athletes, because you guys are all training wrong. And I can say that with the most confidence because of the things I've been learning and I've been applying myself. So just know that protein Titan in your sarcomere also gets stronger and acts like a resistance band. So I started thinking, it's like it also goes along with Newton's third law, which is every action has a opposite or equal reaction. So if you're lowering the weight that, you know, has a lot of weight, since that Titan is acting like a very strong resistance band, it's going to give that kinetic energy and give you a stronger concentric automatically. Okay, also what I wanted to talk about is your type 2 muscle fibers. So you have two different type 2 muscle fibers. You have the type 2X muscle fibers and you have the type 2A muscle fibers, which are still powerful. So the most powerful one is going to be the type 2X muscle fibers, but they're going to be less fatigue resistance. So those are typically found in sprinters. Type 2A muscle fibers are still very powerful, but they are more fatigue resistant. So what happens when you're doing eccentric overload, you are preserving these type 2X muscle fibers, or even converting type 2A to type 2X muscle fibers. And the reason is because you are using a load that is 100 to 140% of your max. So when you're using a weight that is that much, your nervous system is like, oh shit, we need to use our most powerful muscle fibers for this weight. Okay? And when you damage them, you are directly damaging these type 2X muscle fibers and even type 2A muscle fibers. So that's why it's such a powerful modality, especially for athletes. Athletes want to be more powerful. And I'm specifically talking to baseball players, because I play baseball, and the nature of playing baseball, it's pretty much all explosive. And the reason is because when you're swinging a baseball bat, when you're going up to hit, it's all explosive when you swing the bat, because you're swinging as hard as you can every single time, pretty much. And when you're on the field, especially when you're in the outfield, you're tracking down the fly ball, you have to sprint as fast as you can to get to that destination. And when you even hit a ground ball, when you're batting, you need to make it a first as fast as possible. And it's a short distance. The bases are pretty much, they're 30 yards apart, they're 90 feet. So you need to be explosive as possible to make it to that destination. So you need a very powerful acceleration phase. Also, when you're stealing bases, you're not stealing bases directly from first base to second base. You are taking a lead. So you are about 10 feet away from the base. So you're shortening the distance from first to second. So instead of it being a 90-foot sprint, you're making it 80 to 70 feet. So you need to be very explosive. So that's why this training modality is so powerful for baseball players as well, because you are converting these type 2A to type 2X, which are the most powerful muscle fibers. And so when you're doing standard strength and conditioning, you are actually converting your type 2X to type 2A muscle fibers, because you are training them too often, and they're you're creating oxidative stress and all that. Because and when you're lifting these weights, you're using a weight that's under your 1 rep max. So the thing is, you're already adapted to that weight. So what happens is, when you're doing these reps and you're adapted, your type 1 muscle fibers are taking over. They're protecting your type 2 muscle fibers from being damaged. And so when you get closer to the end of the set, yeah, you start recruiting the type 2 muscle fibers, but you're already too fatigued to get damaged. The set ends because you become fatigued. So with eccentric overload, you are recruiting type 2X muscle fibers directly, immediately, and you are damaging them immediately. That's why we chase DOMS. We chase delayed onset muscle soreness with eccentric overload. You're damaging these type 2X muscle fibers that have the most growth potential, and they're the most powerful. And also with that, tightened protein in your sarcomere also plays a role. So you get stronger in the eccentric, you're automatically going to get stronger in the concentric. You're going to get more explosive and powerful. So, I played baseball. I know how explosive you need to be to play that sport. So that's how I know that eccentric overload is going to be the best modality for you baseball players. So if you guys want to learn more, just start looking at my channel, start looking through the information, and subscribe, leave a comment, ask some questions, and I'll help you out. So, and I'm also training baseball players as I speak right now. So just give it a look, man. Subscribe, ask questions, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.